Dragon Ball Fighterz and Sparking Zero were both extremely successful games, but where Sparking Zero tried to best Fighterz by dropping almost every character in the Dragon Ball Z universe, Fighterz made up for this by having one of the most interesting combat systems we have ever seen in Dragon Ball Z fighting game history. Recently, we've noticed Sparking Zero lose an extreme amount of players in just a few months. I mean, come on guys, the queues are getting absolutely ridiculous. While Dragon Ball Fighterz held up its popularity for years, Sparking Zero seems to already be coming to the end of its life. Some people might say that Sparking Zero seemed like it was built for success from the very beginning. And although I somewhat agree, when you dive into what really made it popular, it was never the gameplay itself, but purely the nostalgia of having what was supposed to be the best Budokai Tenkaichi game there ever was. And although that nostalgia is great, it is not enough to make the game stand against the test of time. Fighterz, on the other hand, had something much more going for it that kept it alive for years to come, and this was the gameplay itself. The game kept people interested not just by dropping a ton of characters like Sparking Zero, but by showing the players that becoming really good at Fighterz actually meant something. That's not to say being good at Sparking Zero doesn't mean anything, but what I'm saying is Sparking Zero doesn't feel rewarding. When a player has mastered the basic and even more advanced combos of the game, there's not much to show for it. I am not at all going to say that Dragon Ball Fighterz was an easy game. Dragon Ball Fighterz had a super high skill ceiling, but when you finally got the hang of the game, it felt so rewarding to be able to take that and use it against others. Players would spend hours just getting the most basic combo down in the game. Do we all remember that infamous down Y, Y, and then followed up with another XX after you're in the mid-air combo? I swear to God that combo is engraved in my brain, man. And once you finally got that basic combo down in the game, you could go ahead and tackle other players who also knew that combo as well. But that doesn't mean you were even close to mastering the game. Players spend hours, and I mean hours, mastering combos to the point where they could not only kill you from 100 health to 0, but they could do it in style. Do you guys remember people like Sonic Fox and Goichi? They were huge tournamenters that brought an insane amount of hype to Fighterz by mastering every combo possible on damn near every character. There's a reason we haven't seen them in any Sparking Zero tournaments. I mean, have we really seen any hype around any tournament for Sparking Zero? Even the most basic Dragon Ball Z fighter tournament would rack up at least a couple 100,000 views, while Sparking Zero left us feeling a little bit lackluster. And by this, I'm not trying to say that the players aren't good enough to bring any hype to Sparking Zero, but I'm saying that people who bring hype to these communities and keep the game lasting aren't interested in actually playing the game. And this is why I feel like the community isn't built for long-term life. The reason why Sparking Zero tournaments aren't bringing as much hype as the previous game Fighterz did is in these tournaments, there wouldn't be much for these super competitive players to even show off. Although Sparking Zero has a quick need for reaction time, an extremely fun combat system, and the game supplies enough characters for you to play for days. But what it doesn't give is the competitive nature to want to become better at this game. Once you understand the most basic combos in Sparking Zero, what can you really do to show others that you're the best there is? Become faster at pressing the vanish button? Mash X harder and faster than your opponent? Maybe beat someone with the Ginyu Force, that would be pretty impressive. But there really isn't any advanced mechanics to master in this game. This is why I sadly believe that the devs have already moved on from Sparking Zero, and honestly, so have a lot of the players. We can see this when we wait for minutes or even hours just to get a single match in the game. I mean, it only took them a month for them to take the attention away from Sparking Zero by dropping a completely new Xenoverse 2 DLC, a game that's been alive for so long. I'm sure that we will continue to see DLC drops for Dragon Ball Sparking Zero. I mean, as a mega fan, I made sure to buy the deluxe edition to get the DLC the second it drops. But like many people, I'm sure once I try out the new characters, I'll set down the controller and launch another game that piques my interest in a little bit of a better way. Now in this video, I was never trying to say that Sparking Zero was a bad game. I loved it. I played it for about 30 hours, beat the story, and I put it down after, but I was pretty happy. It was super cool to see all the characters in the game all at once. But this doesn't compare to Fighterz, which I spent 500 hours playing. And I'd say a good 200 of that hours was just spent in the training room trying to learn combos. I really just wanted to make this video to give some insight about why we don't see people playing the game anymore. And with that, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did enjoy the video, please drop a like, I appreciate it so much. And if you're interested in seeing more content like this about game reviews, tips, gameplay, or just my thoughts on other games, check out the channel and subscribe to join the family. Thank you guys, and I love you. I'll see ya.